So a very warm welcome to you, Sony. I hope you're doing good during these tough times. And so let's just start.
Yeah, sure.
So if you could please introduce yourself and tell us about your startup.
Yes. So we are a marketing agency. We are a 360-degree marketing agency. We are not just another digital marketing agency which you see normally. So what we try to cover all the sectors of marketing, be it video production, be it PR related activities, be it your print and media. We also cover the digital marketing aspect within the past 1 to 2 years. So it was co-founded by me and my partner Arpit Jain. And within the past 1.5 year, we have been able to expand into Canada as well. We are already in the Indian sector, but mainly our focus is on India and Canada for now. We are also planning to expand into the US by the end of next year, I guess. It's just because of the COVID that there has been a little bit of pause in starting our company in the US. So that is as of now in other countries we just take care of digital marketing, whereas in India we do the whole 360-degree marketing. That's what my startup is all about.
Okay. So since there are many, businesses in the same area catering to digital marketing nowadays, so what do you think, what is so unique about your business that makes you stand
So,
apart from the crowd?
so I would say that is where our experience comes into play, and how we are growing so fast compared to other companies which are into the same sector, right? So I would say, looking at Arpit's experience also, that he has also been from Ogilvy and Mather, and he has brought in the experience from Sennheiser as well. And right now we have a lot of clients from India and Canada, and we have been able to expand quite a lot. That is where our company, I would say, stands out. We take pride in the quality of our work. That is where we stand out.
Probably working, both of you working, how the startup idea was came to you?
Okay, so
And traditionally working, you were working, why did you take risk, why not working,
okay,
what
so
prompted you, where the idea came in, share some journey, how the idea came on a startup,
okay, amazing question. So I'll tell you, Arpit and I, we are first cousins actually. So one day, he has also been from the marketing background. I am also from the marketing background. So I started with working with my father 2 to 3 years ago, and I have always. We both are actually from the business family, and he was working at Sennheiser at that point of time, and I had recently done a digital marketing course, and I have always been actually interested in marketing. So one day we were just sitting and we were actually chilling. It was over a beer. We decided that why don't we just start something of our own. So that is how we just thought that, okay, let's just try something. And from there we just started, and he just took a decision to leave his job and go ahead with this. It was a complete intuition, because we both knew each other so well. We have grown up together, so we just knew like how we both can support each other, right? So that is where the idea came from, because of his interest in marketing, and because of my interest in marketing, we thought that it was the best idea to start with. Sure.
See, I have a question. Initially, when you open in this startup, there is a problem of getting a manpower because you're a small company, okay? And not much of talented people join because with the financial risk and the way 90% startup. What are the challenges during that initial year did you face it, and how did you overcome those issues,
So I would say that there were were a lot of challenges, but somewhere because of our team, because of how we worked together, we were able to overcome it. I'll tell you how. So I had, because whatever work we were doing, we had very good experience with it, and I also knew how to because I learned everything in the course which I did. So I knew how to create a website. I knew how to handle social media. And with Arpit's expertise, we were good with the designing part as well. When it comes to finding manpower, at that point of time, we were using a lot of, we actually had, I had a little bit of contacts also in the same area, right? In the same field. And Arpit also had his contacts. So that is how we used a little bit of freelance services at that point of time. And that is how we managed not to invest a lot of our capital, and not to pay a fixed salary, and rather work on the freelance model. That is how we were able to cope up. And when we grew, when we had enough clients, that is when we started hiring. So
Very
that
good.
is how the ad code started, and that is the way we are also expanding in other countries.
So you were able to convince these guys to join as a freelance model, and then you started
No,
getting money and they started paying.
exactly. So no, so those freelancers, they are not working with us as our employees right now, right? So we used their freelance services. We paid them for whatever they were charging at that point of time. And then eventually when we saw that, okay, we are getting a lot of maybe website projects, we are getting a lot of social media projects, that is when we started hiring.
How much time it takes to first customers when you incorporated your company, and who
I'll tell
was
you,
your
first
first customer?
customers always comes from the word of mouth. That's for sure, and that is the case with me also. My first customer came with word of mouth. Then eventually they started referring to us, and now we have a very good platform where people just come onto our website, fill out the forms, or people contact me through LinkedIn. One of the things, even being the marketing agency, we haven't given a lot of time to our own marketing, the ad codes marketing. We haven't been able to do that, right? So what we normally do in that case, because our organic reach, we always try to focus on the organic reach. Our organic reach is good enough. Our reputation in the market, I would say, is good enough that people come directly to us, and then they ask us about, rather than us going to people. Whereas I understand that being a marketing agency, I shouldn't be doing that, and I should be focusing more towards the advertisements, and maybe more towards, but I think that space is so cluttered at this point of time, that if I also enter that market, and if I also start targeting those people, so there would be no difference between us. So that is
Yes, Alex.
where we just try to do something different from other agency. And right now we are just trying to expand our organic reach. We are also trying to expand into other sectors as of now, which I would be more than happy to talk about later on once we have something concrete to tell about.
So the beauty is that you have found an opportunity in these trying times also. So we can say that you are a COVID startup.
Yes. No, actually, we are not a COVID startup.
Okay.
We started one and a half years ago. I think it was November 14th when we decided to start. And I guess on 21st of November, it was just an instinct which we followed, both of us. So we just started on 21st of November. That is what happened.
And how many
We
employees you
registered.
have? How many employees you have currently?
So right now we have, if I calculate the employees in Canada as well, then I would say we have around 20 to 25 employees. One of
Cool.
the challenges, as you asked me, Hanuman, that what was one of the challenges that I faced, I would say that one of the challenges when I was expanding in Canada was how people actually see the community where we are coming from, right? Not a lot of people trust our community, because a lot of scams are happening, right? So when I
Mm-hmm.
would send them emails regarding our work, they might not show interest at that point
Mm-hmm.
of time. So there was a time I myself, I walked into a lot of shops and businesses, and then we were able to get our clients, because there was no word of reference in Canada. It was completely new for all of us, right? So what we did, I actually managed to go to each and every shop. I would pick a business complex, and then I would just walk into all those shops and just sell them my services. That is how I also struggled and how I started with it. But people were actually getting excited, and they could see me over there representing my company. So they chose to go with us. That is how we expanded into Canada. And I believe, like, for the US also, in the future we might have to do something similar. Not sure yet, but yes, because of COVID situation, a lot of plans have been changed. So yeah, let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot for the young digi entrepreneurs who want to start their own ad agencies, and starting a digital ad agency seems to be in
Right.
the easiest part currently in the
Yes.
entire marketing game. So
Yes.
what will you suggest are the first 5 acts, which will be the right act for them to get revenue generation in 100 days?
In 10 days, you were asking?
100 days.
In 100 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would suggest, when you're talking about these young entrepreneurs coming into this market, so what they have done, they have actually crowded the space quite a lot. Okay. And all these freelancers who are coming into the market, I personally have a lot of clients. A lot of my clients came to me because I was an agency. They were like, we do not want to go with a freelancer. They lost trust on marketing. They told me that we don't want. When I was walking into, just telling you one of my incidents, when I was walking into in a lot of shops in Canada. So I went to an immigration office, and those two people, they were husband and wife who were running the business. Those two people, what they told me was, they were like, we don't want to go ahead with marketing. We don't want to focus anymore on digital marketing. Reason being, they used this service earlier, and they did not get any sort of results. What I offered to them, because I could understand their pain, I knew what they were going through, because a lot of freelancers, they take up the project, and because they don't have a lot of freelancers have the knowledge of doing the work. A lot of freelancers don't. They just start, they take the money, and eventually they are not able to deliver the right results, or able to deliver the project. So what I offered to them, I told them that, okay, let me do your marketing for the first month, just because I want you to gain trust in marketing again, because I'm so passionate about marketing. When somebody do not understand the value of marketing, I go crazy at that point of time. It's like I have to convince them to understand marketing. That's all. Even if they don't go with my agency, I'm fine. I want them to understand what exactly marketing is, what are the benefits of marketing. So I started with their project. I told them, it's okay, do not pay me anything until and unless you see the results. And once they saw the result, they're still with me. They're still working with me. So those are the kind of things. So when you're talking about 5 steps, I would say, like, please gain knowledge. Please. Like, it is essential. Do not think that it is something which everybody can start. Sure, everybody can start this, but you should have the particular knowledge about what you're doing. If you don't have the knowledge, you won't be able to convince your customer ever in life. You would never be able to convince your customer. So once you gain the knowledge, then you choose the right platform. Just focus on a niche, right? So if for example, I will tell you, if I would have planned to expand in Canada and US together, I would never have been able to do that. I focused on the niche first. In Canada also, I'm focusing on Vancouver right now, where I am. Right. So when you are focusing on the niche, you know which kind of customers you want to target. You understand that particular industry, and you are able to convince your customers more. So that is another thing I would suggest. The third thing which I would suggest is, once you take the project, please give your heart and soul to that first project, and actually to each and every project you're taking. because those are the customers who are going to refer you to more people. If you deliver the right thing, if you deliver the right project, if you what you're promising, you're delivering that, trust me, you will get a lot of customers just from the word of mouth. You wouldn't have to go anywhere, you wouldn't have to advertise. So that is how businesses work. Another thing is, whatever like I would say, like, never, when it comes to payments, when you're starting at that point of time, do not be too finicky about the payments. Just focus more towards gaining more projects. Maybe if you think that you've done something wrong in that project, try to compensate it with something else. Maybe add on a service which you can do. Provide a better customer service. Once you do that, you just need to make your customer happy. Once that is done, the customer will take care of your business. That is what I personally feel. Right. So
Excellent, excellent.
those are those.
Excellent knowledge.
Yeah, so those are 3 to 4 things. Like, I would honestly suggest, if somebody is starting with such projects, because I personally know a lot of my friends, they came up to me, they were like, Soni, we would also want to start with this digital marketing, and they were struggling a little bit financially. I suggested them a few things. I suggested them that before you start anything, maybe just go ahead and do a few courses online. There are a lot of free courses online which are available. Right, make a portfolio, make a project, and then you show it to other clients. When you're pitching, it is very important when you're pitching a client that you have some work to show. If you don't have any work to show, nobody is going to believe you, nobody is going to give you their money. So that is what I would suggest if anybody is starting into any space. Actually, I think, like, this is something which everybody should follow.
So could you share a moment when you felt like everything is falling apart and you have to come out of that situation? Like, what motivated you to come out of that particular situation, and how did you proceed further?
So I think that was the moment when I decided. So I had always wanted to settle abroad. That is something which had been my dream. So I have traveled quite a lot. During my childhood. So my father, he has always been a traveler, and he would always travel with family. So we have traveled to a lot of places. And when I went to Canada, so I knew that I wanted to be there. Right. So it was just that moment. Like, I just knew it was. I think when I was in 11th or 12th, it was 7 years ago, 7 to 8 years ago. I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, that is when I decided that I wanted to be in Canada. And when I started my startup, within 2 to 3 months, I think I went to Canada. And that was the struggling point for us, because me and Arpit, we both were discussing, like, okay, we have just started here in India, and how are we going to expand in Canada as well? Because it had just been 2 to 3 months, and I was also doing my MBA on the side, right? So I am actually very good at multitasking, I would say. Right. So I have, thankfully, I've completed my MBA almost. It's done. So I'm just waiting for my results, which would be there soon. So I have been able to pull off my MBA and also start my own startup together. And I have been able to make that a success. So there were times, as I am telling you, that there were times when I went to Canada, I saw that there was a problem. People were facing this problem, believing our community. They did not want to give projects. And there were times, actually, I called people, and they would just get to know that, oh, they have their operations in India as well, and they would just cut down the phone. So I had faced such scenarios also, but then also I just did not give up, and I chose to go ahead. You won't believe, I have actually, on a personal level, entered 500 to 600 shops within the past 1 year, and I have talked to each and every person in that shop. So that is how I if you want to achieve something, you have to do the hard work. So I do not get scared from that. Maybe it's because I'm coming from a business family. My father has also struggled quite a lot in his lifetime, and he has always told us his stories. He has always told us what to do, what not to do, and how you should tackle such situations. So that is why maybe I did not actually I actually never noted those moments, because for me, if it was a struggle, you have to overcome it. There is no other situation, like there is no other answer to that. If there is a problem, find a solution, that's it. If you cannot find a solution, then you need to seek advice. So I think like it's the hard work which pays off here by the end of it. Otherwise, if you think that you would just start something from the ease of home and you will get the customers, and then cry about it that, oh my God, I'm not getting any sort of customers. Why am I not getting work? Because you're not working hard enough. That's what.
So, what do you think is the most important for a startup? Like, it's the people, it's the funding that goes on, it's the idea, anything that is the most important according to you?
So yesterday only, I think I made a LinkedIn post, and there somebody commented. It was regarding McDonald's. Okay, where somebody commented that McDonald brothers, they had an amazing idea, and Ray Kroc, Mr. Ray Kroc, who eventually took McDonald's to where it is right now. He stole their idea and he did something unfair. So yesterday only in a comment I mentioned that it is not always the founders. It is not the case always where the founders might have the skill of becoming a CEO or managing the business. So an innovator or a founder, once you have an idea, you just need somebody to execute it. You need to find that person. That person could be you. That person could be anybody. For me, so my younger brother, he also has a startup going on. So he is one of the person I see who can execute anything. Right. So I am more towards, I'm the kind of person who has a lot of ideas. Right. So that is where Arpit also came into the picture. He has always helped me executing my ideas. Like we would just talk a lot about, okay, we can maybe do this, do that, and then we would execute it. So Arpit has always been that factor in the ad code through which we have been able to achieve the success. So had those ideas be mine, but the execution part is really important, because it doesn't matter, you might have hundreds of ideas in a day, but if you're not able to execute even a single one of them, then you just lose. So there's this very, very nice quote which I always actually tell people, that which is very common also, that 100% of the chances you don't take convert into a failure. So do not ever get scared to take a chance. Like if you feel, so I actually on the side with the ad code itself, I have 2 to 3 other things which are going on. Like whatever idea I get, I just try to start it. Right. Like I would see what will happen later on in the future. So I'm that kind of a person. I do not, I would say I do not plan a lot, but if I feel that something has potential, I would give it a thought. I would analyze it a little bit, but not a lot. I would not try to take it to the perfection and then launch it. I would rather prefer to launch it and then improve during my journey.
That's really
So, yeah.
amazing. Fantastic insights.